Well, g'day everyone. This is one of those light tripods that you can convert into, a freestanding pair of lights. And this is a tripod for it over there. It just has a screw, kind of thing into it. I got the shits up with the stupid 500 watt J-type floodlight tubes they come with. And I decided, I think you know where it's going, electronic ballasts. I decided it should have two 70 watt Metal-halide light tubes because they produce very little heat, very efficient and fairly bright. They do take, however, a good 5 minutes before they actually reach full brightness, and if you interrupt them they take at least a minimum of 5 minutes before they'll cool down enough to start. But let's put them on. They're only very dull at the moment. One tube always leads a little bit. The one on the left is still sort of coming on. But anyway, they get very bright, and I accidentally left these on the whole night long. There you go. And I could still keep my hand on the case. Now this light, these have actually gotten hot enough that this junction box, you can see it's in a funny angle in the back, actually started to melt. That's how hot they get with 500 watt floodlight tubes. So if I come back a bit, you can see they're starting to get pretty bright already. They're only about at half brightness, I suppose, but yeah, you can see they're getting brighter as the video's going on. They don't take long to get really bright, but if I go back here, yeah, they're not at their full brightness yet, but they do get really bright. And all I've really done is I had to actually replace the lamp holders, because if I go over here, this is what they come with. This is what holds the 500 watt floodlight tubes, and they got really poxy little thin wires and stuff, which is fine for them because 500 watts, 240 volts, not that hard to insulate. So that's what these had in them. This is what these came with. So what I did was, I've got these shop lights which are round 70 watt lights that go in the ceiling, and actually what I did was I removed these things and I fitted them into the case, poked the wires through the the hole in the junction box. Obviously I've got rid of the switch on both these because why would you have a switch on a metal halide? It's ridiculous. If you bump the switch it's 5 minutes before it comes back on again. You can see it's starting to get pretty bright. The camera sort of doesn't give you a good idea of how bright it really is because it's sort of, auto gain control sort of chokes it down a bit. But they're extremely practical. They give plenty of light. I mean, I would have gotten more light with 500 watt metal halide tubes, but then you sort of get the heat problem again. Not as badly as incandescent light tubes, because metal halide are a lot more efficient than incandescent light tubes are. But one of the bonuses is I can bump it every now and again and it doesn't just blow on the spot. I mean, one of the cons of incandescent light tubes, especially the 500 watt ones, is as soon as you touch the light, even just gently, accidentally, bump it, whatever, they just blow straight away. The filament sticks to the inside of the light tube and that's it. They go. These ones, designed for shops, they'll run for thousands of hours. So, they do eventually start to cycle like a fluorescent light tube does if they get ultra high hours. But the ones I microwaved quite a while ago on my channel were 2007 or 2000 and something. Maybe they were 2004. And up until a couple of years ago they were in service, and some of them were on 24 hours a day and they hadn't even started cycling. Only microwaved them and then threw them out because they were just really high hours and they're not that expensive to buy light tubes for. And the other thing is, these are electronic ballasts. They're Tridonic brand ballasts, which should be fairly good ballasts. I probably put about $200 worth of shop lights into this, and actually somewhere it has the date on it, 2011. So I got them a couple of years ago from a bin, so a bit of thunder happening. So there you go. That's my little modification with these lights, and like I said, that's obviously where the screw goes to hold it to the tripod over there. The nut for that's on top of the speaker, so that's why it's not there. Extremely good. So I can still keep my hand on it. It's not burning the shit out of me, whereas normally these lights get so hot that I can't even go near them. So if you've got the parts to do it, well worth retrofitting cheap lights. The actual housing's okay, and the seal's not too bad. So obviously you can never leave them out in the rain ever again because they're weather rated apparently, but these ballasts are obviously not, and neither are these plugs. But yeah, I think you'd have to have rocks in your head to leave cheap lights out in the rain anyway. You'd have to pay $100 plus for lights that are probably well made enough and, you know, sealed enough to actually leave outside in the rain for any length of time, because yeah, they're not going to be weatherproof. This just wouldn't be in a million years. But to be honest, if it's raining outside, I probably don't want to be out there anyway.